referee tonight.
All right.
Introducing first, representing all of New Jersey, she is the Garden State Goddess, Vicious Vicki.
Vicious Vicki making her return here and apparently bringing all of New Jersey with, what's up with New Jersey here at Wrestling Open?
Paul, I got an idea, right? Let's start another Wrestling Open in New Jersey, and then we won't have to see people like Vicious Vicki and Rage Ass here at Wrestling Open. I think it's an idea that's got legs.
Steven Stetson? Well, unfortunately, I think the entire Wrestling Open New Jersey would have to be at the ranch, so I don't know if that's the best idea.
Okay, fair enough.
Nonetheless, Vicious Vicki returning to competition here tonight at Wrestling Open. And how about this?
Her opponent from Westchester, Pennsylvania, she is Pro Wrestling's Angel, the Notorious Mimi.
Welcome back, Mimi. Here again for some more one-on-one action at Wrestling Open. Of course, we've seen her in recent times with Love Dog. We saw the Love Angels last week, but also falling short to Becca in recent times. So I think for Mimi, this is about taking flight in her solo career, not just her overall career at Wrestling Open. As Bryce Remsburg, our official, Mimi having 2 victories in recent times over Tina San Antonio and Paris Van Dale, but those 2 losses to Becca have really been a step backwards. Let's see if she can change her fortunes, pick up a win, and calling for a test of love.
Of course, we want to thank tonight's sponsors. Notorious Mimi, sponsored by @MyAlterEgo16. Vicious Vicki, sponsored by Jeremy Joven02 on Twitter. We want to thank everybody for sponsoring tonight's athletes. And who do you give the advantage to in this one?
I have to give it to Vicki, actually, because I think Notorious Mimi has caught herself up in this whirlwind surrounding Love Dog, so I think maybe her focus might be on that as opposed to the one-on-one competition. So I think Vicki could pull off an upset here.
Vicki, 29 years of age. She has been competing since 2019. Notorious Mimi starting around the same time, actually maybe even a little bit earlier, only 20 years of age, competing in NXT for a stint back on the indies. Glad to have her here at Wrestling Open. And while she was victorious in singles matches, coming up short when teaming with Love Dog, I think maybe that'll help her here tonight.
It could. I mean, the test of love didn't work out. Here's the cover. Kick out by Mimi, and Vicious Vicki in control. She has to live up to that name. She's looking to capitalize that and turn it into a win, but can she be vicious enough to overcome Mimi?
Now just trying to crank the head and neck. Trying to go after the trapezius, not enough to get a submission, but certainly inflicting some punishment. Taking a little moment to pose. Maybe they appreciate that more in New Jersey. The Worcester crowd, not so much.
Well, I think maybe she wants to show the same love and admiration the crowd showed for her as she goes off the ropes and hits a kick, connecting on that shoulder, hook of the leg.
Solid contact, only good for a 1 count, Paul.
A count of 1, and now how does Vicki regain her focus and composure as someone like Mimi continues to battle even though they're down?
Backed in the corner, double chop. That'll drive the air from your lungs. And Vicki doesn't seem to mind that she's not a fan favorite here at Wrestling Open.
Snapmare takeover, and now going for as classic of a wrestling hold as you like. It may not be flashy, but it is going to be very effective as Mimi continues to try to regain some, or I should say, get some oxygen in those lungs.
Doing her best to try and get some separation. A few forearms to the midsection, wiped out with a short arm clothesline. Mimi hasn't been able to get out of the blocks in this one ever since she made the mistake with the test of love. I do think that if Vicki had agreed to it, I do think that Mimi may have been able to overpower her, but that's a moot point as this match continues.
Irish whip into the corner. Vicki with that back elbow, gonna go for a bulldog. She hits it. Is this going to be the victory? No, it is not. Mimi able to make it a near fall. And now Vicki starting to look like she's a little frustrated, DC.
Well, she, especially hearing about 250, 300 people chanting for Mimi, she's got to figure out how to keep her composure, Paul. Maybe looking for another bulldog. It worked the first time. Went to the well one too many times. Notorious Mimi had a counter, able to block the punch, and now rattling off a number of forearms, follows it up with a kick.
Here comes Mimi, hits a clothesline.
You know, Paul, sometimes I question why do wrestlers sign up so often. They got to be beat up, bruised, battered. But when you compete week after week at Wrestling Open, these fans take to you. There is nothing in the world like it. These fans are really starting to love Notorious Mimi.
And Vicki, not sure what she's going to turn into. Ducks a shot.
I think that Mimi telegraphed that. But wrestling circles around Vicki. Face first into the mat, has to roll her over, not too close to the ropes.
But Vicki able to get out.
Do you think Love Doug loves Mimi? He's engaged to LMK, right?
He is, but Love Doug has a lot of love for a lot of people, so that's a very loaded question. I know Mimi is on that list, but Mimi wants to join Love Doug once again at some point in the future with a win behind her, but she's not going to get it like this.
Great counter. Now hooked in a Dragon Sleeper. Easy for me to say. Oh, man, wiped her out. That spin kick. I think Vicki's out, Paul.
I think she's out. Makes the cover. And Mimi is your winner.
The time of the ball, 4 minutes, 42 seconds. Your winner, sponsored tonight by @MyAlterEgo16 on Twitter, Pro Wrestling's Angel,